And just getting rid of the day thus far. So bringing your awareness to your breath and just noticing the breath coming in and the breath coming out. And I'm just going to add some words to our breath. So just silently to ourselves when you breathe in. So I'm breathing in. And when you're breathing out, I'm breathing out. So breathing in when you breathe in and breathing out when you breathe out. And it just helps you just remain a little bit more focused on the breath. If you don't like it, don't do it. Just focus on the breath as much as possible. And I'm just going to use the next few exhales just to get as relaxed as possible and just deepen that relaxation with every exhale. So feel your shoulder blades melting into the mat. Make sure your legs are nice and soft. That bit of space between the teeth and relaxing all the muscles in your face. And I'm just going to set an intention for our practice. And I'm just going to leave it completely open. And then just allow that intention. If you set one, you don't have to set one. Just to be brought into the body on the breath and see if it settles anywhere in the body. You might get a warm sensation somewhere. And then just release any awareness on anything. And we're just going to have just a couple more breaths. Excuse me. And just get ourselves now into reclined butterfly, but we're going to keep our support there. We can bring the outside edges of our feet onto it. If you're feeling that feels a little bit weird, see if you can just push your support just away, bring it closer together. And it's just a slightly different way of coming into this position. And then the hands are coming either onto the belly, you can have them over your head, down by the side, resting on the body. And so holding here. It's one of the really great things of yin, and there are many. It just allows us to become more aware of what's going on in the body. We've got this space, we've got this time just to focus. So notice what you can feel. And there's going to be lots of different feelings and sensations, very subtle maybe in parts, and just see if you can just explore what kind of sensations you've got and really get in to that sensation. And just checking in to make sure that the hips are as open as they will go this evening. If you feel that it could go a little bit further, you can take a nice deep breath in and slowly exhale and just ask your hips to soften. Beautiful. Let's just have 3 more deep breaths. Now we've had our knees open for quite a while, so we're going to be really nice and kind to ourselves and just bringing our hands from the outside, slowly bringing the knees together. And without getting up as much as possible, so using the heels, let's bring our prop so that it comes underneath the back of the hips. So it's not coming to the lower back, it's coming to the back of the hips. I'm just going to raise the legs up, coming into waterfall. So you might notice, because we've had our hips open, you might be able to feel sensation as we lift up. Keeping the knees bent, soften through the ankles. And you might need to just give yourself a little bit of a wiggle so that we've got using the prop as best as we can. And if you can just bring the chin in just a little bit closer so you can lengthen through the back of the neck. And feel free to just add a little bit of movement in the feet. That can be nice, just to release if there's any tension there. Now it's a bit of a weird one just to hold here because obviously the core is engaged to some extent. There's going to be a little bit of holding in the legs, but it can be just quite nice just to hold here. And you can bring your arms up as well if you wanted, but keep it all soft, really soft through the shoulders, elbows, and dangle the fingers forward. Zombie stance, I think this is called. I think this is one of these poses that you really have to concentrate on, actually. So this is one of the reasons why they include it in yin. It will help you to become more present by focusing on what is going on. So what happens if you just take the heels just back just a little bit? It's almost as if like you're having to change the way that you're holding the legs. So there's a lot more thinking. Your body's having to adapt. And maybe just bring them back just a little bit. I know there's not supposed to be much movement in yin, but we can just bend the rules slightly. We're not holding for that much longer. And just see if you can just move them so you get to that center balance point where it feels reasonably comfortable just to soften even further. And then just having a go at stretching out and bending the knees and bringing the soles of the feet down. Going straight in without having to do much in supported back bend. You might need to just give yourself a little bit of shuffling around. So supported bridge. Give your hips a little bit of a wiggle first. And then if you want to, you can have a go straightening out the legs. You could bring the soles of the feet together if you wanted to. It's just a slightly different one, even though we have opened the hips already in that position. Coming to recovery, that can be quite nice. That's a different sensation. Still working through that lower back. Arms can be above the head. I really like working with these soft props sometimes because even though you feel like you're not actually doing that much, you are, and you can feel that stretching. One of the things that we do in yin is to just separate bones from each other. So obviously there's a lot of bones in the lower vertebrae at the bottom of the spine. So it doesn't take much just to stretch those bones and give a little bit more space between them. And just notice the ride of the sensation. So it might go more intense, it might soften off, you might just get this kind of the flowing in and out. And again, if you want to take yourself really into it, investigate where is this sensation coming from? Where is it going to in the body? What can you imagine is actually making that feeling? You might feel it in the front of the body as well. Gentle pulling. And just using the breath to help us get deeper into the surrendering. We've got 10 more seconds. So if you've got your legs, your arms stretching out, slowly bringing them back and bending through the knees. And I'm just going to gently lift up the hips so that we can just move our prop out of the way. We're going to be using it very shortly. Let's keep it over onto the right side, slowly dropping the back and the hips and the pelvis back down. Bring one knee in. See how that feels. Just a really nice counter stretch in that lower back. And then if you're comfortable, bring the other one in, or you can drop that right leg down and slowly bring the left one in. And just a gentle moving from side to side. So if you've not already done so, get something underneath the head, but just take it so that it's under your head and underneath the left shoulder as well. It's always nice to get support. I'm just going to drop the knees over to the right, and it's your choice how deep you want to work. So you can be coming even more onto the right side of the body. If you want to have a bit of a relax, you've had a tough day, this can be quite nice, but then just drop in just gently back. Or if you want to work quite deep, you bring in the upper torso so that it's facing up, so that left shoulder is moving further down towards the mat. You might want to extend the left arm out. You could turn the head towards the left. Whatever feels good, hold in here. And we have done quite a bit of work already in that back, so just be nice and kind to yourself. And always go gently into it. So just find that natural stopping point. Stay in here. And then when you feel the sensations just starting to dissipate, it may be just tentatively just going a little bit deeper and then holding there for the rest of the time, or going again if you feel the need to. Your choice. And if you can, really switch off here. You might just want to explore taking that left shoulder just back just a little bit. Beautiful, well done. Let's just have a few more breaths here. We'll take it super slow, coming out of it. So we're going to move from the left shoulder, bringing that up to the center and then over. Just having a few breaths here on this right side. And then dropping everything to the center, bringing the knees up and taking our comfiness. And then maybe we're shuffling our support under the head, bringing it more onto the right shoulder, dropping the knees over to the left, coming onto this left shoulder, getting our legs comfortable. You might want to cross the ankles over, and then when you're ready, just dropping that right shoulder down towards the mat, doing whatever feels comfortable on this side. Oh, excuse me. Please yawn. And again, just exploring bringing that right shoulder, just soften it down towards support, getting to that natural stopping point, staying there. And taking that breath deep into the space that you created in your chest, that can be a nice thing. And softening, deepening when you slowly exhale. Just 10 more seconds. And slowly we're going to bring this right shoulder up towards the center and then dropping the left shoulder down, bringing the right shoulder over. So we get into this little sort of bringing the knees in towards the chest. And then getting ourselves onto our tummy. You can still use the bolster. We're going to get ourselves into Sphinx, and you can put our bolster shape, our sausage shape, just underneath the chest and just bringing the elbows back. So we're looking for a bit of a compression in that lower back. It can be quite nice because it's supported a little bit more, the chest. If you're not keen on it, just move it out of the way. And just have a move around of the head. And then just get into a position where you feel comfortable to hold and soften through that lower back. Making sure that you take any adjustments that you need to. You might want to settle the chest down a little bit, kind of pulling back a little bit, taking the weight off the elbows and the arms and the shoulders. That can be quite nice. A little bit of a change. And if you fancy just having a play around with stretching the neck, we can drop that chin down, allowing the head to flop forward as much as the body and the neck will allow it to. And we're just holding for 3 more breaths. So if you've tipped your head forward, we're going to really slowly lift it up. And then we're getting ourselves back onto the back, onto our back, but getting ourselves into supported fish. So we've got this sausage shape. It's going to be running down the center of the mat, and you might want to use a cushion for your head. So we're going to be positioning the hips just at the bottom of our support, and that should run up the spine, and our head should come off the end of it at the top. So we drop the crown of the head down. If you want to have a prop, you don't have to. It'd be quite nice sometimes just to really push the crown of the head into the mat so that we really feel a nice stretch in the throat. Knees bent, arms long, feet together, recovery, arms long. Sorry, I said legs or arms, can't remember. You know what I mean? I said one and I meant the other, and then I got confused. Because yin's so good, man. So, supported fish is a really beautiful chest opener. So we should be able to feel the chest from the chest bone gently opening down towards the mat. And when you breathe in, that's when you're going to get that most stretch. Softening on your exhale. And soften your shoulders down. And just give yourself a quick body scan to make sure you're not holding any of the body parts without you realizing it. Sometimes you can. So we're halfway through this pose. Is there anything that you need to do to release any tension? You might want to think about your intention and see when you bring that into the body again, you get any different sensations. A repeat of the ones that you did earlier. This pose is really good for getting rid of any cobwebs in that heart space. So you can be thinking about anything that you want more of in your life. And bringing that into this space, or the spaces, little spaces that we've created in the chest. And releasing anything that no longer serves on our exhales. Beautiful, well done. Let's have a nice deep breath. And slowly we need to get out of this. All we're doing is tipping onto one side. Let's move our prop out of the way. And we're going to get ourselves back into Shavasana. And if you want to bring them some comfort under the knees, please feel free to do that. So as you just settle down into the last pose, just be aware if there's anywhere in the body that you can feel a deeper sensation. Just acknowledge what's going on in the body before you allow to the body just to settle deeper into the mat and switch everything off. Well done, you beautiful people. So really slowly, we're just going to be bringing some awareness into the body. Let's wiggle those toes and fingers, adding a little bit of movement, circling of the wrists, getting those ankles moving. Let's have a really big stretch. So bringing the arms above the head, stretching out, and then tipping onto one side. Staying there for a couple of breaths, and then very slowly coming up into a seated position. And just bringing the hands together at the heart center, dropping the head down with the eyes closed. And bringing back into the heart space your intention. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Namaste.